Please start now. 3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us?
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Boy, that ended quick. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Good evening. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to Mysteries Beyond the Scene, streaming live on R.I.F.T Nation Network. My name is Joni, and I am your host this evening for True Crime Mysteries Beyond the Scenes. I hope everybody had a great Halloween. Thank you for joining in. We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, R.I.F.T Nation Network. Go in there, share, subscribe. Please hit the like button, and on Twitch as well. Welcome into the chat room. I love to see your comments. And if you are watching this on a podcast later on during the week, please leave comments as well. If you have any information regarding the case or just general information, please leave your comments. Like I said, we are the R.I.F.T Nation Network. We have a great show this evening. You know, this show is another person that is missing. Like every show that we've done, I think the past 3 shows, someone is still out there walking around. And this particular case, Aaron Pennington, is in Massachusetts. It's not getting the coverage that, the main case that we did, that was 18 people naturally, but, Cavalcanto and other cases where somebody's out, they're still wandering around. This man is still at large. That's what's frightening about this case. He's still out there. So we're going to take a deep dive into what happened on October 22nd in Massachusetts. Pass around his picture. So if anybody does see him, he's got connections in California, Texas, and of course, Massachusetts. He's an Air Force vet. So I think it's important when cases that don't get as much coverage like the other ones do, that we cover them so that we can at least pass this around on social media, get this information out there. It's very, very important. He has left 4 children, small children, without their mother. And I think it's important to get his picture out there as much as we can. Good evening, Lee. Welcome. Thanks, Renee. I hope everybody had a great Halloween. We are starting to get into the holiday season. I'm already starting to put out my Christmas stuff. And I told Keith, and he's like, oh no, are you kidding me? But I am. I don't know why. I think because the world is crazy, we all need a little bit of extra Christmas lights and Christmas spirit. So we're going to have fun during the holidays. We'll do some old true crimes. We'll look at some serial killers. I think we can just do some very interesting true crime as well as current cases that are out there, but just kind of mix it up during the holiday season, because I know you can grab the show either on Spotify or on YouTube in the evening, and just I appreciate it. So thank you for coming in. And this evening, tonight, following this show, I will be on the Otter's Den. We have a huge new moon coming up that Keith and I are going to discuss. And this new moon, Hitman, he's so sweet. I need to call him just to say hi, mix it up. I think we should mix it up and get into some, it's the holidays, and get a little bit more of the interesting, look at the charts of serial killers. Where do the forensic charts, believe it or not, the serial killers are extremely clairvoyant. They're very, very psychic. That's why they have a different vibe to them. So if you ever know of any psychic detectives or psychic people that, work on clues, they immediately know when they're dealing with a serial killer. Their whole entire vibe is different. And that's from as far as a clairvoyant or psychic standpoint, not so much as forensic astrology, because, majority of serial killers are usually the same sign. However, but the clairvoyants will tell you that serial killers really can feel them. It's really a strange vibe. So we'll do a show on that. We'll mix it up like Mr. Odell said. Hey, Lee, hugs. And hello, Julia. How are you this evening? I hope you all had a good Halloween and you got a lot of candy. I know the last show we talked about the candy, how I was going to dig into it. And now I have canker sores in my mouth because I ate so much candy. So I even, that's it. That's it. I'm done with candy for a while. Hey, Ladybug. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? Oh, that's so sweet, Julia, my good luck friends. Yay. Did everybody have a good Halloween? It was like 25 degrees here and windy and cold, and we didn't have any kids because it was so cold and nasty. But that left more candy for us. So, needless to say, I had my fill of candy. But welcome tonight. Don't forget to tune in to Rift Nation Network tomorrow evening for Raven's Swan Flock. I got that right, with Susan. And she has her spirituality show with all kinds of different readings, guests, all on the esoterical. And then on Thursday and Friday, the Crazy Cat Lady, Mr. Howie Odell, on Wednesdays at 11 with What's Going On, which is news, social media information, what's happening in the world. We all need that coming from a true source. Mr. Odell is that true source. Let's see. Donna here, yes, was freezing and snowed in. You got snow. That's terrible. It's terrible. Okay. Julia, I got a question. Okay, honey, go ahead. Oh, that is so sweet. I listened to all your shows Halloween night. Well, how sweet. Okay, now, for all of the old shows on Blog Talk Radio, I think you can go back into the archives on Blog Talk. It was Rift Radio Network. It was the radio, but now we're Rift Nation Network. So if you want to. So, here he goes. Let's see. I think on the spooky side season, you should do shows on real life killers. Love it when you mix it up. Oh, I like to mix it up. I think everybody likes to mix it up too. I think everybody likes to see different things as well. That's why after we look at Aaron Pennington, I have charts, and I think you guys are going to love this. Okay, Howie confirmed it. We have some left on Blog Talk. So please go on there, Mysteries Beyond the Veil back then. And you can go through all of our my older shows. So I appreciate that. Thank you. At the end of tonight's episode, after we get done with Aaron Pennington, we have, and I know this gets into a lot of astrological talk, but Saturn is a very important planet. It's important to our world leaders. I am going to put up a couple of charts for everybody to show you. Hi, Tam. Hope you're doing well. I have some of our leaders' charts to show you what Saturn is hitting on their charts, which Saturn is actually karma. It's lessons. So I've got Ukraine's chart I'm going to put up. I've got Biden's chart I'm going to put up. I've got Mitch McConnell's chart and the United States' chart. So that way we can look at how the Saturn transit, which Saturn is going forward. It was in retrograde. It's at its strongest point. So I'm going to show you at the end of this show how it's going to affect our world leaders and what we need to look for. It's pretty interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Okay. Yes. Type in True Crimes, Mysteries Beyond the Veil. It should take you to the old shows. Thank you, Mr. Howie. Thank you, Mr. Odell. I appreciate it. Yeah, it should take you there. I'm almost sure. Okay, Miss Julia, let's see. I was curious about an Ohio case. I'll message you about them. Absolutely. And if you want me to take a look at them and we can do a show on them, I would love to do that. Love to. I would love to. That would be great. So tonight, let's get started with Mr. Pennington. And then, like I said, please stick around. Oh, what did I forget? Oh, I got a little Libra sidetracked. And then on Saturday is Love Shack at 11 on romance, relationships. And then on Sunday, the Orion Effect, where Howie and Rhonda have special guests. They have open mic. They have all kinds of, it's a great show. The Orion Effect on Sunday evening at 7. And then Monday, of course, yours truly with True Crime. And then the Otter's Den at 8 following this evening when we discuss the new moon. And I will give you kind of a heads up. This is a Scorpio season. Scorpio gets down to the bottom of everything. They get the swamp. Scorpios love dark and they love the swamp. So we're going to talk about the swamp. The swamp creatures that come out from Scorpio season. That's at 8. So let's get started with Mr. Pennington, and then we will get into world leaders. Look at that. There he is. Mr. Keith. How are you, Mr. Keith? Keith is like my partner in crime. You can hop on, Keith, if you want. You'll be on here anyway, so you're welcome. So let's get to Mr. Aaron Pennington. Okay, Aaron Pennington is a 33-year-old Air Force vet. And look at his lovely wife, Brianne Pennington. They have 4 children. He is a brilliant Air Force vet. So he works in the aeronautical field now as a profession. He is a vet, 33 years old. Okay, up in Mass, 4 children. Okay, lovely girl. Look at that. Okay, this is now, I'll give you a little backdrop on this. On October 22nd, the children, there were 4 children, ages from 2 to, I think, I'm not, the oldest I think is 10, 8 to 10, went to the neighbor's house at approximately 9 in the morning and said to the neighbor, My dad's car is gone. My mommy is upstairs crying. We need help. So, of course, the neighbor went to the house and they found Brianne dead with a gunshot wound to the head up in her bedroom. Now, according to the court documents, the police went to the home. They found spent shell casings and soon issued a warrant for Aaron's arrest. Now, that was after they found a fairly cryptic note on his phone. So, and that is their home. Oh, I got to tell you. Okay, let me tell you guys where this is in Massachusetts. Oh, and the story behind this is Brianne was planning on leaving Aaron and going to Texas with her 4 children. So, of course, we're involved with a domestic situation at that time. And it's later found out that he was suffering from some issues, some mental issues. Now, this is the note that the police found on his phone. Yes, this happened, Julia, October 22nd of this year. And the note says, don't say anything, be quiet. If she wakes up, just say you're getting nasal spray. Get on the side of the bed, very close proximity to head. And then you read you can read the last one. And that's apparently what happened. We don't know if it happened, but that is the note that prompted the police to issue an arrest warrant for him. Now, at 9 o'clock, he was spotted on the Ring camera at the home, leaving the home. So we know that we don't know if her death occurred in the evening, but he left the home at 9 o'clock. Now, this is in the Worcester County, Gardner area of Massachusetts, which I'll show it to you where it's located. We'll do map time. So the children have now been placed with the state. He is considered armed and dangerous. He has ties in Texas and ties in California. So that means Texas, California, and Massachusetts. Be on the lookout for this man, okay? Be on the lookout because we don't know if Aaron is alive or if he's gone. He does have some mental issues. And that just seems like with everything that we've pulled up in true crime this fall has been mental issues. He has very close ties to Southern California. That's what Brianne's sister said. Now, approximately 3 to 4 miles away is a Boy Scout camp and a camping area that is called Camp Collier. And I'm going to show you pictures of that. The police, as you can see, it's a camp for Boy Scouts, Camp Collier. And it's the woods. That would be expected for Boy Scouts. Look what they found. They found Aaron's vehicle abandoned in the woods off of the road, which prompted, as you can imagine, a huge search. We've got a mother that's deceased, 4 children, and he's on the loose, armed and dangerous. Again, military involved, which means these people they're very familiar with weapons and hiding. So this is the massive pour out of the initial search for Aaron. They searched everywhere. It was state police. Now, this was going on right at the time everything was going on in Maine, as we all know what happened up in Maine. So this is the Gardner area of Mass. So I guess this maybe didn't get as much attention because of the Maine incident. Nonetheless, it's still a very important case. So they have, of course, gone through the area, gone through everything, canines. They also had drones. They have searched on foot. As of last week, they called off the search. They have not been able to find him. They searched all of the cabins up at the Boy Scout area. So where is he? Did he have help with another vehicle? What do we know? We don't know anything. So they called off the search. Apparently, I'm hoping they're regrouping and starting to do some investigating. So I think that's why it's very, very important to get his picture out there, because like I said, he could have had help. He could have had another vehicle stashed somewhere. Apparently he was planning this, or the notes would not have been on his phone. So let's take a look at the chart that I did for Aaron. And the event chart, I used 9:14 a.m. on Sunday, October 22nd, 2023, Gardner, Mass. And I used that because that's the time that the 911 call was made to the police from the neighbor after the children said, mommy was crying. Now, I don't know if that means that mommy was perhaps still alive. I don't know. I don't know that. But she did pass away. So we're going to look at the chart and see what it says to us. And on the little arrows, I showed you perp. If you go over to the right with the little yellow arrow all the way to the right, that's Aaron. Okay. And then we're going to look at the home, which is the number 4, which is the 4th house, which is home. That's the home. As you can see, Neptune is in there. What does Neptune stand for? Neptune is camera. So he was caught on camera leaving the home. Now, we can also tell that in the 3rd house, he went a smaller distance, because that's the 3rd house indicates neighborhood, short distances traveled. He's come in, and then we go up to the 12th house. That's where things are hidden. He's completely hidden. Okay. So does that mean he's hidden and he is gone, or is he there? I don't know. As far as the chart is concerned, I couldn't even guess to even, I don't know. I do know that in the 10th house, which represents law enforcement, it indicates that this is going to have an ending. So he's either going to be found, or somebody's going to turn him in if he's on the run, or if he's gone, they're going to find him. Either he's hidden. 12th house always indicates to an astrologer something that's where he is hidden. That 911 call shows us that he was on film, caught on film, got into his car, went a short distance, which was 3 to 4 miles right down the road, abandoned his vehicle, and now no one has seen. There's not been one sighting. And another thing with, if you all remember with Cavalcante, when he was on the run, there were repeated break-ins attempted. People saw him. Everybody has Ring cameras. There have been no sightings of this man. Now, do we blame it on the fact that it's not gotten a lot of coverage and not a lot of people have his picture out there? Because we've got Massachusetts, we've got Texas, and we've got California. Let's get his picture out there. Just share his picture. I mean, Aaron Pennington, share the picture. Okay, so I mapped it. And as you all know, the mapping is taken from the event chart. It's done mathematically. It is done according to what planet is where Aries gets 0 degrees, Taurus is 30 degrees, Gemini 60 degrees, Cancer 90 degrees. And that's how we add that up with the degree according to the chart. It is all mathematically done. We go to the map and we get on Scribble Maps and we use what are called bearings, longitude and latitude. And thank God the computer can do it for us, because I couldn't do it. I was not good at math. So I like those little moons up there. And as you can tell, last week I used the little blue pen just to say, you know what, I would search around this area. As you can see, I used the blue dot in the middle is the home where they were living. And up around the lake area where his car was found is Camp Collier. Okay, this is the Gardner area in Mass. So I put the moons up there just because I liked them. But I thought the moons were kind of cute. But I would search that whole area where I did put moons and the blue, only because the wedges went up to that area. Now, as you can tell, southwest is a very hot spot for the wedges as well. So this would also indicate to me that he did leave. He could be gone. We just, this is one of those cases where you just don't know. You just can't even, and it would not be even responsible to even try to guess. But I'll tell you, that area southwest is pretty interesting to me, that there are a lot of lines pointing southwest, but there are also, I would definitely sweep that area all around that lake area. And right now the leaves are down. It's perfect weather for searching. Get out there and just clear that area. And apparently they have done that. Apparently they have searched that entire area where the car was found. So, okay, they did that. Maybe we could look southwest. Heading to Texas, Miss Tammy. So again, that's the area where I would search first. That's a very desolate area. The blue dot is where he turned in. And that had to have been planned, because how would you just find that place? Of course, if you lived there and you've gone through what he had gone through with his wife, I think this was very premeditated. So that could tell me that there was another vehicle waiting for him. Abandon the car. Who knows? They don't know. Now, I would think there would be a lot of cameras around that area, but they are keeping it close to the chest because it's an active investigation. If that area pans out, I would start looking at in the Texas areas where he's got connections. So, Tammy, I'll get you the poster and you can share it out too. Again, that's the area where the car was found. And those lines to the left could just be the route that he took. That's the only kind of frustrating thing. We just don't know. If we could read minds and figure that out, it would be perfect. It shows us him getting there. But again, it's just one of those situations where we don't know. Okay, let's see what Miss Lee has to say. Okay, Miss Lee, some DV cases end up murder-suicide. Sometimes they will go as far as 20 miles to take their life if they don't take it immediately, unless he has a GF on the side and on the run. It could be. We don't know. And, it seemed like, what's interesting about this particular case is he left those notes on his phone. What else did he leave on his phone that perhaps is under investigation and they're just not telling us? Now, I think if there would have been some kind of a note or a manifesto or something to that effect, they would have perhaps said it, but they have just said, if you see him, please contact 911. He is armed and dangerous. Be on the lookout. But that's it. I mean, we're not getting a lot of coverage on this for people to be on the lookout. I mean, it's not a well-known case. Like I said, Maine kind of came in while this was going on. So I understand why that could happen. Hi, Miss Linda. So, Linda, this is Aaron Pennington, another one that is on the run up in Massachusetts. Now, if he does have those ties to Texas and to Southern California, be on the lookout. You know, who knows? And he's also, like we said, he's got mental issues. So I will get that. I will put that poster. Everybody gets on RNN. I will post his photo on RNN tonight. And that way we can all share. Please share just to get the poster out there, get the information out there. And that's Mr. Pennington's case. I think it's very interesting. You know, 4 little ones, a beautiful wife. Like you say, it was a domestic violence issue. You know, I don't know if it's a DV issue, but, you know, she was getting ready to leave. And then when, that's what apparently triggered, who knows, with situations like that. So this is just a little bit of kind of interesting information for everybody before we wrap up and we head over to the Otter's Den. Now, I'll give you a little rundown on Saturn. Saturn moved direct between now and, let's say, the next 2 weeks. The energy of Saturn, which is restrictive, it is karma, is at its strongest point. When they do what's called station, they appear to be standing still before they move forward, as opposed to retrograde. And we all know what Mercury retrograde is. They appear to be going backwards. They really don't, but that's what it appears. So I thought this is so interesting to see some of the leaders that we've got who is getting whacked with Saturn right now. Because when they do, it's something that we can watch and say, oh my gosh, that's Saturn. Because Saturn is so, the strength of Saturn, I think, I don't know, just my opinion, is the strongest of pretty much close to Pluto. Saturn is karma. So when it goes back and forth and back and forth and you don't learn the lesson, it will continue to repeat until we learn that lesson. So let's take a look at, I think I have, okay, we have President Biden up there first. Now, I will say this, his natal chart, that's his natal chart. He's a Scorpio, and boy, is he a Scorpio. If you look over to the left, look at all in the 12th house of secrets, hidden secrets. He was born with a pact 12th house, which is it's called a stellium. He's got a Scorpio stellium in his 12th house of secrets. Many, many leaders have a lot of Scorpio and a pact Scorpio at that. Oh, look, you know, I mentioned Scorpio and you've got the Scorpio magnet going on.
What's up? How you doing?
You do. You have that Scorpio sense. Scorpio season. I mentioned Scorpio stellium, and there you pop up in the on the thing.
Here I am.
That is so hilarious.
In all my Scorpio glory.
Oh my God. It's so evil. Look at that. Look at that chart. Oh, okay. Here, Julia's got a comment. We'll look at her comment. Julia, have you noticed Earth Schumann resonance moving into the 5th dimension in the beginning of the golden age? I didn't know it was moving into the 5th dimension. I know that it's spiking and it's high and we are getting whacked with solar flares. But,
yeah,
you know, our tippy toe is in the age of Aquarius out of Pisces, which has been thousands and thousands of years. So let's hope so. I hope that would be great.
It's been spiking pretty high for quite a while. There's been some days where, I mean, it's off the charts.
Yeah.
Other days it's in the normal range, but yeah, there's days that it spikes and you can feel it. You really can.
We're getting whacked, and solar flares too. And solar flares can cause some stuff with electronics.
Yes.
Electronics and everything.
The human body as well.
Yeah, on my banking thing, it said some deposits didn't get put in because of something happened with the electronics. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Biden, we'll do Biden. You're gonna love this, Keith. Now Biden. If you can see the yellow arrows I put up there, let's see how Saturn is going to affect Biden. Now, if you look at the bottom of the chart where I put all these arrows,
yes,
the third house is the house of communications.
Okay.
As we all know, he has struggled with communications. And I kept saying, when that goes retrograde and sits at 0, watch what happens. And then it's going to station there. And then it's going to move forward. It's going to go into his 4th house. Okay. Saturn has caused the restriction of how he communicates. It has restricted his communication.
Yeah.
And his ability to communicate. And Saturn rules the elderly, older age. So when you've got Saturn, and not to get too technical, it is hitting his south node. What is the south node? The south node is your soul's karma. It's what you've done in past incarnations that your debt is being paid in this lifetime, according to the astrology. Saturn is sitting right on his south node right now. So what does that mean? That means the karma train is pulling into the station. That's what that means. And it's interesting to see that with him. Now, if you look over to, just to get, he's really getting whacked. I'll be honest with you. I don't like to see when people's charts, their transits, and they start to get whacked on stuff. But this is like a major whack of energy. And if you look over to the left, that whole Scorpio stellium is getting hit with the sun, Mars, and Mercury, what we're getting ready to go through in a new moon. So look for revealing information, because the 12th house is secrets. It's enemies that you're not aware of, hidden enemies being revealed. That the karmic wheel he's getting it.
Interesting.
So he's one of them getting hit by Saturn. There's a couple of them, and I pulled them out. Okay, this is the USA chart. I just did this because if you can see the red circle around on the bottom, I always talk America's in its Pluto return. It happens every 250 years. Yeah. It's returning her to her roots. It's the destroying all the evil to bring her back to her, what she was intended to be here for. That is what that's for. Okay. So why did I put that up at Venus? I put that pink arrow up to Venus because when Venus moves over to Libra, that can help us in this country. That's a good transit. So I just thought that's a little bit interesting in the United States chart.
Yeah.
And, have you ever look at all that Cancer in the USA chart, Keith? Up in the 8th house of Scorpio. That's our belief system. That's what the masses believe in. Interesting, isn't it?
It is.
It's a great chart. Okay, the next one is Ukraine. Okay, Ukraine has not been in the news as much, right?
No, they haven't.
Okay, well, look at that. Saturn is sitting right up at the top what we call the midheaven. That is when you are being brought at your career or your ruler, the ruler is going to be in the spotlight with some karmic situations. Look for karmic things to come back to the leader of this country. That's going to hit. Okay. It's just sitting there. So when it's just sitting there and it's stationed, it's putting off, I'm going to show you everything. Okay. We also, and I circled, and the yellow marks are going over, Mars is getting ready to hit Uranus down there. I know. Watch for some unexpected news to hit on dear old Ukraine. It might be the end. It might be done. It might be the end of this war. This very well could be. It could be the end, especially with that Saturn up there. Here's another interesting one. And I think this is so interesting. Okay, McConnell. Now, as we all know, he had those episodes where he would just stare off into space, remember?
Yes.
Okay, Saturn is hitting his sun, his life force. Saturn is old age. That's a hard transit. So if we look at some of the things on these leaders and watch within the next couple of weeks while Saturn is stationing on these key areas of their natal charts, I guarantee that these three are going to be in the news because Saturn has stationed on a certain part of their chart and just parked. Makes sense. I mean parked, and they're not nice places to be. Because it's going to be like, here we go.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's Miss Tammy. I thought that was interesting. Joni, I am officially licensed as a private investigator as of today.
Congratulations.
I have a new job as an investigations officer, assigned cases from defense attorneys and murder cases.
That is amazing.
Wow. Miss Tammy, we are so excited. Congratulations. And I know you're going to come on the show and tell us what's going on. That is wonderful news. Congratulations, Tammy.
Absolutely.
It's all that hard work. See, hard work does pay.
Yeah, it does.
It does, doesn't it? It does pay. And Miss Julia, some huge solar flares supposed to happen mid-November. Yes. Yes. I am so excited for Tammy. That is great. Okay, here we go. NASA detects CME rushing out of canyon of fire. Solar storm could strike on November 4th. The forecast has predicted a G1 class storm, which essentially means it will spark aurora borealis. Well, and if you noticed on Facebook today, there were a lot of pictures of the northern lights that came all the way down to Tennessee that people saw.
Yeah, that's all I can find for solar flares in November.
Due to the solar storm. Oh, I am so excited for you, Tammy. Congratulations. That is just wonderful. You have to come on the show and tell us what you're going to be doing. I am so excited for you. This is so deserved. You work so hard. Wonderful. Just wonderful news, isn't it, Keith?
Yes, it is. That is phenomenal.
So exciting. So exciting.
That'd be fun.
If possible. Yeah, that's what we need to do, Miss Linda. Get information. All right, you guys, that is Aaron Pennington. I hope you like my little tidbit of our world leaders. Yes. I thought that was a little bit interesting, don't you, Keith?
It is. It really is. I'm gonna be watching and listening to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on them. So keep your eyes on them within the next 2 weeks. And Julia, did they find Brooke in the lake? That I do not know. That's another case that we had was Brooke in that lake. I don't know. She went right to the lake. Those were, that case was Brooklyn, and I didn't do the astrology. Kirsty McIntosh did the astrology, and my clairvoyant clues matched identical to Kirsty's astrology on that case.
That's
And
awesome.
on that particular case, Keith, we went down with Cincinnati. Oh, geez, Michael's going to be mad at me because Cincinnati Paranormal's team.
Oh, okay.
And he had a spirit with him everywhere we searched that day.
I remember that.
And he's got it on tape. And, apparently she said that that's who it was. I don't know. But I witnessed it. I heard it. And
I remember
that spirit was with him all day long with Michael. So it's an interesting afternoon, that's for sure.
It would be.
And, she said to that lake, the spirit box pointed to that lake. Kirsty's astrology pointed to that lake. And my directions, which were clues, pointed to that lake. It was like 2nd Street, make a left. It's right there.
There you go.
So she's got to be in that lake. Got to be. So, but that's the show this evening. Thank you guys for tuning in. Congratulations, Miss Tammy. Keith and I will be back here at 8. Correct, Keith?
Yes. 7 Central, 8 Eastern.
Yep.
For the Otter's Den.
For the Otter's Den. So thank you guys. Have a great week. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you next Monday at 7. Thanks a million. All right. We'll get us out of here. And I'll see you guys back at 8. Back on RNN.
Sounds good.
Okay, now I gotta find this. Gotta find it.